Alright, we'll start.
You mean Scotland?
Okay guys, we're going to start now, so you can listen to us for a little bit more. We'll just go right to left, introducing ourselves.
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm first year and I do street politics.
I'm Ellie, I'm third year and I do politics and sociology, which none of you will be doing. I just wanted to come to this one today. Why do I have to say that? Okay, I'm president of the Politics Society if anyone has any questions about that or about societies in general.
I'm John, I'm first year history and politics.
I'm Chris, I'm third year politics and international relations and I did a gap year. So if you've got questions about that, right? Cool. So basically, this is a chance for you to ask us all the questions that you want to ask and find out about the stuff that you also really know about without your parents being here, without the tutors being here, generic, straight, like whatever you want to ask really, otherwise we'll just talk.
Did you do self-catered or catered?
Self-catered.
Which do you think is better?
Self-catered. Purely because you come to university and everybody's in the same boat of you only know what your parents have taught you, and so we've done quite a few come dines with me and various things like that. There's a really good chance for everybody to learn together. I find that if you do catered, A, you could end up spending more because you can cook really cheap if you want to, and B, you're going to have to learn how to cook anyway, so you're going to go to a house in the second year and you're going to be at the same stage as you were last year. So it's just, I think
the two things that are really important with it is self-catered, you learn how to cook, which is incredibly important if you move away from home. The second thing here is people in Enfield have been, some of them have been complaining a little bit, saying that catered meals are the same every week, so you don't really get very much variety, so I suppose it can become a little bit frustrating.
The good thing here as well about Enfield Farm and Opal, pretty much all of them are self-catered, built for self-catered, so even if you go catered, you'll probably have a kitchen or communal living space. And the good thing about our catering system is, unless you're in Stevenson, which is the only catered halls, are they the only catered halls? I think so. Yeah,
so they're
the only block which is everyone is catered and they have their own dining hall. You can get any eatless cards which your parents can top up a certain amount every month or every week where you can top up, and that just means that you can spend the money on your eatless cards in either the Ridge, the Edge, or any of the Eat With Us venues. So you can do a bit of both. I know a lot of my flatmates in first year, their mums were really, especially for boys, so guys, the mums were really worried that they were just going to be eating nachos or microwave meals all the time, so they bought them just for the first couple of months just so that they had that peace of mind. It's generally mums getting a bit worried to do that. And that rolls over, so you can just spend that, you don't have to spend that straight away because when that can be more clear.
You'll get more info if you were in the campus stores. They'll tell you now what. Self-catered, probably. It'll give you more life lessons, so do it.
more interesting.
Any other questions?
Yeah, in your opinion, why is the best self-catered accommodation? What is the best self-catered accommodation in your opinion?
Do you mean
which building, which kind of accommodation is self-catered for?
We're all different. We're all different.
Yeah, I would say the Vale, which is the older flats, and we have balconies, and I think they were amazing.
Do you have shared bathrooms?
Yeah, if those of you, Enfield Fair is probably the cheapest, one of the cheapest accommodations, probably one of the oldest. We've got shared bathrooms, so in a flat of 9, we had 2 toilets, 1 shower, 1 bath. They've replaced the bath with another shower. But on that note, it was fine for us, flat of 9 guys, even the flat of 8 girls, they were all fine.
yeah, they're often single sex.
Yeah, sorry, Vale was all single sex on each floor, but it's a mixed block. And that's probably one of the worst blocks going, and I loved it. Didn't have any problems with it. The balconies were brilliant to help people with snow from. So,
I live in Yarncliffe, which is part of the section. If you do apply for accommodation, you'll see the most common one is the one that I applied to. So that's kind of right in the middle of Yarncliffe.
Those are both in Enfield,
yeah, we're both in Enfield. I lived in Enfield, but I was right in the middle of it, so I was right close to the student pub.
You don't not live there anymore, you still live there.
Yeah, sorry, I am. Yeah, sorry, I'm really close to the student pub and all. There's loads of different students around there, so I really like that one. But I think you just fall in love with wherever you do.
Yeah. I was in Roundmoor, which is the smaller. Shut up. It's the smaller out of Enfield, so it's about the third of the size of Enfield. You'll go to Enfield, and Roundmoor basically all the blocks are exactly the same size, but there are just half as many blocks. And I was in Wingallen, which is the main block it's the central block in Roundmoor, and I actually loved that. I still work there. I work on the Ridge, but by the bar, and I loved it. I think it was brilliant.
And I'm in city centre at Opal, so I'm not in the main student bit for first years, but I have no issues whatsoever. In terms of going to see people, if you think that it's not going to be as much fun because you're not around a lot of first years, we go up to Rancliffe all the time, so, and his flat's smaller than mine as well, so Opal's bigger flats, bigger rooms and bigger social areas, and 5 minutes away from your lectures, so that's good. But it just costs a little bit more, which is a bit of an annoyance. I didn't go there by choice, but I'm happy there anyway, so it's, wherever you go, you're going to be happy.
They're all pretty good, and like the room that you see in NCliffe, if you guys go to student accommodation, pretty much all of the rooms look like that. Maybe NCliffe Vale's a bit
NCliffe Vale doesn't, but as I said, I loved it. It was fun.
But my room is exactly the same as all the rooms I've been to in NCliffe. My room was.
Yeah, and down at Opal is pretty much the same. They're just a tiny bit bigger. All of wherever you're going to be, the university itself will have checked it out. They'll make sure that it's to the standard that they expect and that they want, and that it's good enough for a student to be in. The standards will not be any less or any more, to be quite honest.
The other thing about Sheffield as well is they're all really, really new. So I was the second person to sleep in my bed in Roundmoor. So I think now it's like it's 5th year Roundmoor, and NCliffe's only a couple of years older, and Opal's still pretty new as well. So they're really like good quality. They've got like 24-hour security that like just checks everyone out, makes sure everyone's alright, and it's really like really, really nice.
But you get all of this when you go to the accommodation later.
Yeah. Wherever you end up, you're gonna be happy. So.
Yeah.
Anything else?
On a less serious note, how much is it for a pint of meal?
£2.
For a pint?
Yeah.
Depends where.
If you go to the Edge, which is in NCliffe, it's £2 for a Cardinal or for a Strongbow. They're not.
It's £2.50.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
How much strong was that?
£2.50.
It's not
you
really
get
much.
pie or Castle for $1.99 in all the street villages. I actually know this.
Oh yeah, you do, yeah.
£2.50 Stella, £2.50 Strongbow, £2 single vodka mixer or single spirit mixer, £3 £2.58 bottles, £1 shots.
So
Depends wherever you are. If you're going on a night out, the cost will be a lot lower because they do the deals. That's the only reason. So at clubs, you'll get like 4 year bonds, 3 year bonds for Walwood, £1 vodka mixers, £1.50 doubles, things like that. You could have a night out on like a tenner at the music.
Sheffield's a really, really, really cheap city for a night out.
Yeah, it depends where you come from in the country. We keep saying this to groups. If you come from London or down south, it's going to be so cheap.
It's pretty much a fifth of a night out.
Yeah.
A night out here.
If you come from anywhere in the north, it's going to be about the same, to be honest. If not a little bit cheaper, because wherever you go in Sheffield, they're aiming at students. So they don't charge a lot because they just want to get the business.
there's one over there at the back there. Yeah.
Which module was the most interesting?
Depends on what you like. In respect of when I came to university, I didn't like theory, I didn't understand theory. I was very systems based, so president, parliament, that sort of thing. And so those who do politics A-level, that sort of thing that you learn. Came to university, was told like you have to do a theory module because the first is kind of given to you, which is really good because I hated theory when I first started. Now my dissertation is in theory and my project is in theory, so it's sort of, for me personally, whatever. My focus moved to a more theoretical direction.
Because I do dual honours, I don't have like as much choice as these guys or as you guys would have. But I, over some physics professor, absolutely hated like theory stuff. I really liked sort of things that I could apply to. So I did British politics in the first year, which I loved. I think it was a brilliant module. I did a lot of globalisation modules because it was something I was interested in. And the beauty of the modules that are available all throughout your 3 years here is that there is quite a variety. You can focus your sort of education on a certain direction. For third year, you probably would have been able to list of modules. But third year, there's like a ridiculous amount of modules you can choose, and I chose elections and voting, which I absolutely loved, and it's pretty much like my favourite thing in the whole entire world now. It's all about sort of statistical analysis, voting behaviour, and things like that. Which I did maths for a little bit, and I hated it at school. I absolutely hated it. Whereas I come here and I'm doing like statistical analysis, and I love it. I think it's brilliant. what I'd say is just like, you'll get given like a look at all the sort of different module outlines, have a look at them, see what interests you, just read them all, see which one you like, and just choose.
Yeah, your first year they're basically dipping your toes in the water. So it's just an introduction to everything. So for when you get into your second year, you're ready to go to start focusing in. For them, when you're in your third year, where you just pick one final thing. So it gives you a roundabout thing of everything. To be quite honest, you might think, I hate this module, I hate that module, and I only like one or two of them. But like from speaking to these guys, you're going to realise what it's assisted you in your second and third year. So it's all going to count towards something. Even if you hate it now, you might love it in the future. So depends what you're interested in.
Do you just stay in Sheffield when you go out, and sometimes go to other closer cities?
There's quite a lot of different cities in Yorkshire, in North Yorkshire. So I play hockey. I do travel around quite a bit to play hockey games. I went to Leeds at the weekend and stuff. So if you do get involved, you will like be out and about. Like Rotherham's not too far away, so I've been to see Rotherham play football. But nights out, I wouldn't stretch more than Sheffield.
Some some societies, but they do sort of big trips with people in your course and go to like different cities. So geography went to Leeds a couple of weeks ago. We're getting New York Politics Society to come here and things like that. So you do have the opportunity to go to different cities and things. And there are a lot of things available at the Union where you can sort of get day trips places or nights out trips places. But I think Sheffield's got plenty of nightlife.
Yeah, there's a club for anyone, no matter what music you're into. There'll be a club for you, if not more. So
the only one we didn't have is we didn't have a house club, but now we do. So everything is catered to, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, if you're not doing a course which has already language in it, can you take another separate module of language?
I don't know where's the
Basically what they do is you have one unrestricted module, so you can do what you want with that. You can, so if you say, for example, you're doing straight politics, that one optional module you can either take in politics or you can take in any other course. So you can use that for French, German, Spanish, Russian, anything you want. So you can use that for that. If you don't use it, then you can learn a language separately, but you have to pay for it. And I think it's about £150. If you're doing a dual degree and you don't have the scope to have an unrestricted module, you can still learn a language for free, or you can do it casually through a society. So yes, there is availability for you to do that. You'll decide in your first week when you do your intro week. You can decide whether you want to stick with a political subject or you want to go into any other area. So you could do a sports one or you could do a language. So yeah, there's opportunities.
Somebody in the middle.
Where do you host your lectures?
They're all over campus. So like lectures, which is where your whole module gets together. You have a lecturer stand at the front and talk to you for like 50 minutes. You know what we went this morning was in Jesse's West or something like that. There's a leisure theatre about 2 minutes from there called St George's Church. That's the furthest I've ever been for a lecture. Most of them have been 2 minutes, 5 minutes walk down from here in like Richard Robertson stuff. So you go around the campus, as the campus is really close, and then all your seminars, which is like your 14-man group, are based in here.
This is already legislated in the politics department, so the likelihood of you guys having a lecture in here is quite slim.
As you see, it's quite small.
It doesn't fit that many people. So if you get to third year, you might have like a seminar or a lecture in here because it's smaller groups. I did have one of my second year sociology modules in here, but it completely depends on the size of the group. But the likelihood of you having a lecture in here is really small because I don't know how many, I can't count how many people there are here right now, but there's not that many, it's no big deal. So like for a first year core module, there's no way you can fit everyone in here.
Yeah, it can be up to like 200 people at your lecture, so depends what module it is, but you'd never fit everyone in here.
First.
How long does it take you to like get used to the city? You know where you're going.
I'm still there.
Yeah, you gradually find things out. I think in my first week, I remember walking to all the wrong places and getting taxis everywhere because I just didn't know how to walk from place to place. But it makes sense after a while, so I'm still finding things now.
You get a map of the city, it's a little blue pamphlet thing. The person has to use that to put on my wall. So just when I was going to change stuff, I've got an idea of where things were in the city, and then just meandering about or getting on the bus. Just paying attention.
I think it took me until about second year to like being completely confident, because obviously when you're in first year, you're in sort of a little area in the residences, and it is kind of like a bubble. And then when you're in second year, you had to move out of that. Well, you don't have to, you can stay there. But I moved where are we now? I moved like right way up there, like a good like 20-minute walk up there, horrible far away. But
I moved 5 minutes that way.
You were really close.
Yeah,
I was really far away. But then I had to kind of get used to like walking about and knowing my way around. But it is, because it is quite a small city. I don't know how everyone got here today, but like it only takes you from about here. It only takes you about 25 minutes to watch the train station, half an hour. It is like a really, really small city. And I used, in my first couple of weeks, I like got the bus everywhere, got the train, got taxis like everywhere, no matter how far away it was, just because I had no idea where everything is. But now I'm pretty happy to pretty much walk anywhere, walk into town.
Probably it'll take you until about Christmas to be fully confident of where you need to go in terms of like your lectures and your seminars and to the shops, things like that. But until I'd say I don't have a clue outside of that. Like, I can walk into the centre and I can find shops, but it's wherever if you go to explore it, you'll find it, but you don't really have that much time to do that, so just gradually.
If you have a chance, just go for a walk around and just like, so I think me and my housemate, it was maybe our third week, we had a weekend where we weren't doing anything, we literally just walked around for a bit, and that was really nice, it was snow. And my other housemate used to do loads of running with the society she was a part of, and so she sort of showed me all the ways into the Peak District and things like that. So.
Yeah, how many hours a week do you get of lectures and seminars?
It's 6 hours contact time in the first year, so 3 hours for lectures, 3 hours for your seminars. Doesn't sound like a lot, isn't a lot, but you have a lot of reading. And if you don't do your reading, then kiss goodbye to a degree. Because oh come on, if you don't do your reading, you're not going to do well. You do, I mean, all you need is 40% in your first year to pass, which is really easy to get, but who would be happy with looking at their exam results and seeing that they've got 41%? You're not, you're paying £9 for it, come on. But
yeah, you guys are paying more, so I make most of it.
Yeah, so it depends, if you're going to do, it's not that much contact time, but if you're going to do all your readings, if you're going to get more done and you're going to work in your first year, you're probably going to end up spending anything between 8 and 12 hours reading, which is 12 hours is the recommended. Yeah, you pull your face, but it's easy to do because you get anything between 2 and 4 core readings for each seminar. Each one will take you, depending on whether you are someone who can absorb it straight away or you want to write loads of notes on it. It can take you anything between like an hour and 5-6 hours to do them. So
on top of that, you've got your contact hours with tutors. So tutors always have 2 hours a week where you can just go in and chat to them about anything. So that's quite useful, particularly in second and third year, where you start to really grasp your subjects. And like, if you don't think you quite got it, or you think you've got it, you want to sort of clarify your point or explore it more, those are really good to just go in and chat to the tutors for like however long you want. I mean, I went to talk to Matt about Hobbes before because I had this really amazing idea and I got it completely wrong. But that was really good because I went and chatted to him about that and I'm really happy for that.
They're all really, really friendly as well. So Maria Grasso, who might be late, she has a coffee machine and she always has chocolate. She always offers everyone. She's got like really nice coffee, really nice coffee.
And they're really good if you can't make the contact hours and you email them and say, I can't make your contact hour, but I really need to see you about something. They're good at making time outside of their contact hours as well.
When you get into your third year though, around now, like, do you have any contact hours this term? So Chris has got none, I have 2, that's with sociology, so with politics I have absolutely none, so we basically left our own devices, which at the moment hasn't been very helpful for me because I haven't got any work in like a month.
You have to learn a bit of
But you've got to kind of motivate yourself, like it's not going to be at school and people are telling you what to do, telling you have this deadline, like things you've got to
you're going to get what you put in.
Yeah, definitely.
You really are. So, if you're someone who doesn't want to do anything, then fine, don't do anything, just pass. But if if you want to do really well, put in the work and you will. Because you've got the facilities here to assist you in doing so. So if you want help with something, someone is going to be there.
Wow. Okay, we'll go left to right.
How do you find the balance between international relations and politics?
It's not a dual honours, so there's no balance to strike per se. It's just, so like in first year you do like a globalisation module. You do like 5 modules in first year, all politics related, and then you've got another 23 credits that we were talking about earlier. And there's no balance to strike because you've got your hours per week you do. And I find what you learn in sort of the more theoretical modules you can really easily apply to your IR, and they do feed into each other really well. So I don't think there's a need to balance per se. It's just like you were doing at sixth form. You know, you've got like politics, English, and business studies, and you just need to do those 3 classes. You've got IR theory, you've got modern political thought, you've got British politics. So those 3 classes. Next, middle one, someone? There was one in the middle for you.
What does the seminar consist of?
It completely depends on like that seminar tutor's sort of style and what module it is. Generally, it would be sort of like 10 to 15 people with like a seminar tutor who's often like a PhD student, and it's basically or a lecturer. Yeah, it's basically just like a sort of maybe a bit of a debate. You might do a bit of group work. You might have to do like a set reading for that seminar, and then you can talk about it. You might have to do like a presentation. It completely varies, but generally it's sort of a much more informal, smaller group, and it's kind of more like a discursive, like debating sort of thing where you just like chat to people, and it's a really nice way to sort of learn because you're like bouncing off each other. But it does completely depend on the seminar tutor and the module that it is. But generally you'll have to just do some reading for it, and then you'll chat in groups, and they'll give you maybe some questions to answer. And just
as I was saying earlier about the reading, like in my first year, I'll be honest, I didn't do that much reading, and I found when I went to the seminars, if I hadn't done any reading, they were completely lost to me. So do at least the core readings, something that I wish I had done in my because it just makes your seminars so much more interesting, and you can really take part. And seminars are really important to where you ground your own understanding of the topic you're talking about. So
there's one seminar in my, so I've been here for 3 years now. One seminar where I can think of where I did like loads and loads of reading for it, and it was the best seminar I've ever done. I was sitting there like, God, this is amazing. This must be how other people feel. Because like Chris, I literally just definitely my reading was really, really amazing. I just used to kind of look at the first page and click through it, so I just had a brief grasp of what it was about. This was a globalisation module last year where I did all the reading, and I've never felt so brilliant about myself. It was wonderful. So I would advise doing reading, yeah.
Yeah, it depends what module, seminar tutor you've got as well, because I've got one and he picks on people if you've not done the reading. And he does it purposely, and you can tell within the first 2 minutes if you've done the reading. Because he'll say, tell me something that you learned from the reading, everyone will go around. And you can tell when someone's trying to make something up off the back of something, and they just about get away with it, and then he'll say, right, what else? And he'll carry on picking on that person. So it depends what you've got. Some tutors honestly don't really refer to the reading, they just say, right, well, the discussion on this topic, but then the next week they might go really heavily on the reading, so don't leave it to chance.
On the straight politics course, what percentage of it is pure British politics?
There's one module that's a British politics module,
yeah.
And I'm doing that at the moment. But I think that'll only be about 6. So it's not really focused, but it's quite nice because, as we were saying earlier, like there's lots of different things to get your head around in the first year. Like there's political theory and political science, and there's one we're doing at the moment which is like looking at all the executives of different countries and compare them. So like looking at Brazil and USA, France, Britain. So it's not all. There's one that focuses just on like British prime ministers and their regimes and what they've changed, but there's lots of different things. It's not just focused on Britain.
It's a good thing as well because, like, when I first came here, I was looking forward to doing heavily focus on like British politics, things like that. And within my first week, I was thinking, why was I doing that? Because there's so much more to politics than learning about the Prime Minister and Parliament. And you'll be surprised, and to be honest, you'll lose interest in it, because you'll realise how much more interesting other things are, other countries, other things to do with politics. It isn't just to do with what you assume politics is. So day to day, prime minister jobs, things like that. It's not just about that. It's about theory and like philosophy of politics, things like that, and it will interest you far more. So it's good that you get more diversity. You wouldn't want a course to be focused on one particular thing, because you're not going to get what you need out of it.
Yeah. I suppose we said like most of the modules will be applicable to any country, any political system. You just like apply it. You do have a few which are specific. So first you have the British politics one, which is specific, and then when you get into third year, there's like a parliamentary studies module, which is based on the British Parliament and things like that. And then there's a party one, which I think is based on the British political parties as well. But otherwise, there are like loads of other ones. So Cuba's a really big one. Everyone loves doing Cuba. It's a really, really cool module apparently. They've got like a Latin American module, and other countries are a lot more interested in the UK politically. Like it is like fairly interesting as a country, but really, when you're looking at places like Cuba or Latin America, India's political system is incredible apparently. But like I do, as I said before, I do elections voting in third year, and we do look a lot at British elections, but we also look a lot at the USA, we can look at European elections as well, and then we look at other countries like India. So Alison McMillan, who runs scholars, he specialises in Indian elections and things like that. So like there is a lot of variety, and you don't need to focus on Britain particularly, because it's not that interesting.
But if you want to, you can.
Yeah.
A couple of things. How is the outside option that you talked about, is that the only thing that's flexible in the first year? You've got the other 6 compulsory ones. And do you know how easy it is to change? So once you decide that you want to come to Sheffield, can you change something to history, politics, or sociology?
You can change like within the first month, I think.
Yeah, you're limited to if you guys are straight politics. So I don't know what your entry requirements is. It like 2 A's and a B.
Yeah.
You need, if you want to swap, you can swap to something. It's easy if you want to swap something in politics as your home department. So either if it's politics, like a politics dual, but it has to be like politics sociology, politics philosophy, politics IR, politics security studies, because they've all got the same entry requirements or slightly lower. If it's got a higher entry requirement outside of the politics department, it's a little bit harder. But they are quite flexible. I do politics sociology, and I wanted to change to straight politics, and I couldn't. But that's because they were different entry requirements, even though I've met the straight politics entry requirements, they wouldn't change it.
There's a lady called Kate Middleton who's got blonde hair at the start of today. If you've got questions about admin and stuff like that, she's the best person to go to, and we'll be seeing her in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So if we...
It's going to depend entirely
well, we're
on...
getting close to there's a couple of other questions I think.
It's going to depend entirely on because if there's no space, then you can't. So it's going to depend entirely on how many people...
But if you do want to do it, talk to someone like the minute you get here.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got enough time for like 2 more questions really.
Yeah.
Did any of you do like a study abroad or international stuff? No, do you know?
No, do you have to, because you do it in your second year, you have to kind of like decide quite early whether you want to do it or not. So I was a little bit put off by that. But are you going to study abroad talk next?
I think probably.
There'll be someone who's done it.
Yeah.
Just recommend getting a account of that, because I left it too late and that was my mistake.
It's a really good thing to do that.
Yeah. I was going to ask off the back of that, is it hard to get onto them?
It's quite competitive.
Yeah.
You do have to go through a proper application process and interview things.
I presume, especially for like the most popular places. Yeah. But if you don't get like, no, sorry, actually, I'll just ask that next. That's quite a detailed question.
If you're going to the study abroad, I'll tell you more.
There's one at the back and then one down the front. I think there's one at the back. Okay.
What are the best places to go out at Sheffield?
Cool.
Where is it?
Heard of Cork already?
Yeah, someone told me.
Cork is a bit infamous. It's kind of scary.
It's £2 for a, or £2.
£2.40 for a quad.
Someone used the word grungy to describe it.
Basically, you've got your corp outfit for a Wednesday, which is shoes you're not going to wear out anywhere else in public, jeans that I've just got, a white shirt and a school tie, and actually corp outfit for a Wednesday, and you don't wear it anywhere else other than corp. I didn't believe this when I came in, and I wore my relatively new Converse shoes. Error.
It's like a swamp on the floor.
But it's so good.
It's like the best night out you'll ever have for first year, and it's so much fun. But when you get to about third year, you go there sober, you go there any other time on a Wednesday, you realise how disgusting the place is. But it is a really, really good night. It's really, really cheap, and everyone goes there on a Wednesday.
Other than that, if you're into sort of like alternative music, there's like Fez Tuesday Club. If you're into
That's like dubstep.
there's a night for anyone really. Like,
there's Lead Mill, and then there's like Power Street Parties, which is more like R&B, dance.
Loads of live music along.
There's massive live music scene here, so if you're into that. Guys, got a couple of bands, so yeah.
What music are they playing like Court Speed?
What, sorry?
What music?
Court. On a Wednesday, it's sort of like the bottom room. It's like normal.
It's like a
mainstream stuff. Next floor is like. I think it's meant to be a bit more
brilliant, like,
then they have like different nights of the week.
In the floor above they do like a mix between like indie lyrics over dance tracks, and it's just like.
But this Court place on a Wednesday is like the main place that everyone goes. So if you guys ever been, not on a Wednesday.
On Friday,
Friday is like heavy metal. Monday is going to be like really old school indie stuff, and then we've got other. The Friday night is. I went there on Friday and it was one of the scariest things I've ever done. Well, we were going to be going to Leadenhall, so I wasn't dressed for Court. It was horrible. But it's like, sort of heavy metal. It's quite good.
There's something for whatever music you like.
Someone that's really like music.
There is something.
Music based. Everyone loves this music. So there's like.
Something for everyone.
You'll never be stuck for a night out. And even if you hate the music that's going on in the club, you'll still have a good time if you're going.
And there's generically several different rooms in all the clubs as well, so if you don't like one room, you just go to another or another floor. I'm from Guildford, we have one club in the town.
I don't even know where Guildford is.
Top Gear.
South of London.
Yeah, Dawes County. Unless anyone's got any burning questions, we need to wrap up and go upstairs.
Quick question. If you're out at night and you want to get back when you're extremely drunk, do you walk, do you bike, do you take the bus, what do you do?
Taxis take pretty much about £5.
£5 like from club to.
And that's fine.
We've also got two things that I mentioned to people online with, but I don't know whether I'm all up to. We've got the same taxi scheme, right? If you're really, really pissed and you don't have any money, if you get in the City Taxi, which is one of the taxi companies, give them your U card, and they'll keep that and take it to the studio the next day, and like leave you with a bill for the taxi. So let's just make sure people get in. All right, and then
and
then secondly, for girls in particular, we've got the Women's Night Bus scheme, which runs from outside the Students' Union every night for every half an hour. It's basically £1.50 just to make sure that girls are home safe.
But no, I've never really heard of issues of people walking home.
No, it's
straight home as well,
safe.
please. Yeah, it's really good. So.